Shalom, shalom, family. It's your sister, Benaf Abulamya. Back with nothing but love. So, yeah, all the hate, keep it, because I have nothing but love. So, I wanted to come and talk about recognizing true freedom. Understanding what, are we free? He said the truth shall set you free. So, are we really, truly living in our true state of freedom? And I wanted to touch ground with that because, I had so many interesting things pop up along with a conversation I was having that got very heated. Of course, this mind, I like to say, is a lukewarm mind because one minute, it's somebody I find to be lukewarm. So I try not to really debate and argue because that's not me. I kind of let people go ahead with what if I notice that you just stuck in your way of thinking, that's just where you at. And there's no need to argue and debate, right? So just keep it moving. And if it's to a point to where I'm like, this serves no purpose whatsoever in me giving time to it anyway, then I'll just continue myself from being around you or distance myself. It is what it is. But anyway, I wanted to just touch ground on something because I want to understand. I got a lot of scrutiny today because I said we allow a lot of the stuff that's happening to us to happen. And someone said, no, it's not the people. I said, it is our people. Like, I love my people, right? But my people allow it. A lot of this stuff. And no, it don't have nothing to do with saying, because I don't know if they thought I meant like, to go fight against a war or something and fight that. No, not even about that. Y'all said vengeance is his, and I see what he doing, and I praise him for it. Praise y'all all the time, all day, every day. Stay in an open communication with him. So just so that to be known, I am grateful for all that he's doing. Yes, I am. So therefore, who am I? I'm staying out the way. He left room and time for me to work on me and get myself together. So that's what I'm doing. And I'm not worrying about nobody else and what they did. But what I will do, right, is learn from all of that. Because that's what I think it was meant for us to do. And I'm going to teach my children so that they will know better. But see, I'm on to touch ground because what do we teach our children? Do we teach them with this mind that is this captive mind? Or do we teach them with a free mind? Because I see a lot of our people still walking around teaching their children with this mind of captivity. Y'all said the truth shall set you free. Once you receive this truth, there should be no reason why we are. And I'm going to add me in it. Because this message comes from a bunch of self-reflection, meditation, and many conversations with y'all. So with that being said, as long as we're still living in a captive mind, we're gonna continue to be trodden down. And it has nothing to do with violence. Because let me tell you something. I know it's a lot of people out there who's ready to start getting out there wanting to use that violence and think that, that's the only way. No, it's not. Yeah, I do have that faith. I got faith to know what y'all can do and what he said he was going to do and what he say he is doing. He is doing it right now. Like, I got that faith to know that he got our back. I just got the faith. So at the end of the day, when I start talking about why are we still walking in a captive mind, it's because we still are in this world instead of mentally, spiritually trying to get out. And although a lot of us are in this truth same way, we claim to be in this truth and yet we still are not free. We still did not set ourselves free. We still decide to stay in Babylon. We still are whining and moaning about going back into Egypt. Are you kidding me? Let's wake up, people. Because this is the power that y'all gave us, that dwells in us. He gave us back our knowledge. He is opening these doors. This stuff ain't just coming out by consequence. No, I mean by circumstance, by what they call coincidence. No, it didn't. But it's coming out because it was meant to. And people my people's in the truth, you know what I mean. Oh, you understand? We all know what time it is. So now it's time for us to start standing on that. Right? They being revealed for the lies that they are, the deceivers they are. We know what's going on. So when I say we still thinking in the mind of captivity, is because we still teaching our children to partake in this world, to be a part of this world. We don't show them any different or any better. We don't demand any different or any better. So what are we really doing? We got to start asking ourselves some true questions, some real questions, hard questions. And I know it's stuff that you probably don't want to answer because guess what? You don't want to face the fact that you might have to give up some things, or you might still be out there in the world dealing with Babylon in a hard way, in a worse way. But you see, us as a people, one thing I realized, we like to use that as an excuse to still be out there in that world doing nonsense. Because you like to say, oh, it's a system and there's nothing we can do about it, but there's so much we can do about it. That's not out here raging war. That's within their own darn laws. Why? Because they use the same damn loopholes. And yet we refuse to. All I see my people doing is wanting to fit in. In which they switched that around on us. Because let me tell you something. They done tore and broke us down so much every time we flourish and build ourselves up as a community. And then the very people that you go and destroy their communities because why? You was jealous and envious. You go and mistreat now. Why? Because they need us dependent on them. It's mind games. And you already know these things. And yet we continue to let it happen. We as a people have a voice. We have our own choice. And no one can take that from us. Despite whatever the consequence may come from the choice. You understand? The good or the bad. I hope I'm saying this right because, yeah. I know my people, I know we've been through it all. I know we've been through the shits. But at the end of the day, when do we start teaching our children better? That's the reason you want to sit here and start complaining. You want to sit here and say, oh, this young generation, Generation X, Generation XYZ, and all this other BS. Listen, but when are you going to start teaching them better? When are you going to separate yourself from their foolish traditions and ways? Y'all out here thriving and die to give your children a life in their world. And yet you want to sit here and talk about how lost they are, how confused they are, but you do nothing to correct the nonsense. It's the saying, you know better, you do better. So when are you going to do better? When do you start giving them back their history? When do you start giving them back their heritage? When do you start making a way of life again? You understand what I'm saying? We as parents, we as the elders, we as the teachers, the leaders, we are the ones who were supposed to start instilling this. Thus y'all say, grow your child in the way that he may teach him in the way that he may go. So that in the way that he may go, so when he get older, he will go in that way. So why we're not doing that? Why? Yes, we live in this world, okay. But we're supposed to be educating our own children and showing them that why we're not a part of this world, why we don't supposed to be a part of this world. We, as the leaders, as the parents, as the teachers, should be teaching our children the difference between this world and the difference between living in Yah world, meaning walking in the flesh and walking in spirit. We supposed to be teaching our children how to maneuver this place with a free mind, a free, just mind, with no fear. So they can be the example. Because let me tell you something. The minute we start teaching our children how to do that is the minute we start growing back that righteous people that y'all created us to be. And we will be his light again. we will be his representation again. You understand? And I say that with love because let me tell you something. I see a lot. I see a lot of us out here downing our very own children when I know we could do better. And let me tell you something. This ain't me talking down on you because out of 9, I got one out here that's going AWOL right now. So I know what it is and I know how hard it can be. And yes, I did teach him better. But you know what? I also understand too that there's lessons to be learned in this reason, regardless if I understand the reason or not. There's a reason for it. Why? Because I know and I trust in Yah and I believe in his word. Do you truly believe? We got to start believing. Do show our children what's real belief. Set that example. Start being that example. Do not be afraid to be yourself. A lot of us, we out here. We out there. We out here because we afraid to be ourselves. You can't be afraid to be yourself. Be free. Stop trying to follow these trends. You understand? Don't be a hypocrite. Show your children what's real. How dare you want to curse your child out because you caught them doing some nonsense when they watch you do the nonsense. And you could say all day, oh, I'm grown, don't do what I do. But let me tell you something. You are the teacher. You are the one who's showing them how to be that very woman. And men, you are the one that's going to show that boy how to be a man. I don't care what you say. A woman can never show a man how to be a man. Same way a man can show a woman how to be a woman. We got to get it together. I could go so deep into this, but I just wanted to bring that part out. Like, when do we start really living in freedom? We don't have to accept this stuff. We don't. But I find out our people don't like to be uncomfortable. So if it means boycotting they world, don't fraternize their world. That means, yeah, it might get a little bit harder. We might have to get out here and really try to start actually providing for ourselves, becoming self-sufficient, trying to keep it amongst us, since they don't want us a part of their lives anyway, right? A part of their world anyway, then come up out of it. But if we do that, then they're fucked. And they don't want that. No, they don't really want it. But guess what? They're going to make you feel like they don't need you when they really do. And guess what? We know it's all about us. So if you awoke into it, and you know they bull crap that they trying to run on you, you know the game they trying to run on you, then by all means, when do we start to stand in truth? When do we start teaching our children the real truth? Stand in truth, live in truth, be an example of truth so they can grow in truth. My brothers and sisters, this is your sister, but not our Lamia, coming at you with nothing but love. So again, all the hate you could keep. But in the comment section, I would love to hear your opinions, please, because I truly feel like once we start realizing that power, right, that everybody waiting to receive is in there already. Y'all lives through us. You understand? But everybody waiting to become these super warriors. A lot of people waiting to become people that's going to be out here shooting and playing Rambo and all this other stuff. But I don't see where people are truly recognizing the power they have in spirit. And we also know the power we have in our words. The power we have in just receiving back that knowledge. We can now start to re-educate our children. We can now start bringing back our ways. We can now start coming back as a people. And oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, they don't want that. But I'm here to tell you, that's what needs to be done. So if we could get up out of our egos and really start trying to figure out, where do we begin to come together, not as a church, not as a camp, but as brothers and sisters. When do we come and start really meeting each other, as far as knowing that excuse me, knowing that person, the spirit, the soul, truly connecting as a people, coming back, starting to get our ways back. Like, I don't want to make it seem like, I just say that because, again, these, not talking about churches and camps, I've seen so much division in that, and I just feel like that if people truly just got to get to know each other, stop looking for leadership. We have a leader. Yeah, the Most High. He is our leader. And I feel like we messed up already with that. We did that before when we came up out of Egypt. Like, we were sitting here begging for kings and stuff when we already had Yah. And it was like, I see everything. Like he said, same as an old would be in the same as an old would be done in the new. So, I mean, I just see it again. I just see it. And then our people, we got like, this is something too. I say that when I say think about it. Free your mind. You understand? Own who you are. Recognize who you are. Protect who you are. Because even with the story of Jacob and Laban, his wife, father, he kind of had him in captivity too as well. But how can I say he had him in a captivity in a way that it was done in a way to where it wasn't forcefully. You understand? Like, but he was forced. And I feel like that's the same thing that's happening now. They're pulling the Laban on us. You understand? And what's going to happen is, not until we start to stand up and truly, right, begin to build our own within these people system, and start from there as a people, meaning that's how we start to gather. Stop worrying about leaders, worrying about getting to know people, worrying about getting to know each other, brother and sister. Get to know each other's soul. You understand? Let Yah do the rest. Do you believe in Yah? Like, truly ask yourself. Because I truly see a lot of people say they believe. And it's like, yo, the simplest things. I hear people say they live in reality, not in a fantasy world. So where is your freaking belief? Where? Because that means you do not believe in Yah. If you say you only believe in reality, which means you only believe in what you can see. And Yah said having faith is believing in the unseen. So, where is your belief? Where is your faith? These are questions we have to ask ourselves. And I'm just saying, with that being said, let me get up out of here before I start going on and on again. Because these are conversations I like to have and build with my brothers and sisters. Because, again, I'm just a sister trying to share some love. With that being said, yeah, please drop a comment and let me know what's your thoughts on this, because it's time for us to start living free, right? Truth shall set us free, so let's be free. Come up out of this captivity. Release yourself from it. It's okay. Stop trying to stay up in Babylon. We out of here. We out. Shalom, fam.